How's it going, guys? Dom here with Dom's Vlogs. I apologize. I was pretty much sick for the last couple of days, I think, or weeks. The other days I got a little lazy, but I'm back again with another top list. I promise you that I'll make enough top lists to help you guys out. I'll probably put my opinions on other stuff. My opinions probably on this year's WrestleMania that's coming up. Because I think it's going to be either the worst or the best. Or it's going to be like Black Ops 4, where I don't know who said it, but I think one YouTuber said that it was mediocre, which I could disagree. I think it's pretty good. I think Black Ops 3 was mediocre. So, let's take a gander at a Nickelodeon show that I've watched since I was very little. Well, not too little, but little enough. And that is Nickelodeon's and Butch Hartman's Danny Phantom. As people of all you don't know, Danny Phantom was a Nickelodeon cartoon about I think a 14-year-old boy by the name of Danny Fenton that actually had an accident that made him turn into a ghost. Half boy, half ghost. Or as one ghost calls it, the halfa. So he has ghost powers, and he uses them to actually save the world and fight them against ghosts. Now, that combination itself spawned 3 seasons that were so good that I can't even explain it. Yes, there were a couple of bad episodes of Danny Phantom, but this takes the cake. Because I have already got a list, and I had to go through every single Danny Phantom episodes from seasons 1 to 3. And I went down and made the top 10 best Danny Phantom episodes. Now keep in mind, it is my opinion, and hey, if you don't believe me, watch the other video. But it's kind of like my opinion, I'm glad that you guys have a different opinion on this. And I will put, I think, some of your favorite episodes on this list as honorable mentions. Because I do still have a few of them on a piece of paper right here. Again, I've been working on this, so it was pretty nice. And plus, it was good to look back at my old childhood, It's nice to look back at your old childhood, look at it back a little, look at some of the episodes you liked and the ones you hated. So, without further ado, let's look at the top 10 best Danny Phantom episodes. Starting with number 10, we got Attack of the Killer Garage Sale. So this episode is interesting, but it did spawn something pretty cool and actually did put, I think, one message across, which I will get to and see what it is. So it starts off simple enough in the beginning where Jazz, which is the sister of Danny Phantom, was actually trying to tutor Dash Baxter, the bully or the touchdown king of Casper High. Except he's so seduced by Jazz's looks, that's what happened. He's so seduced he can't even be tutored by something that is simple than what Jazz thinks as Albert Einstein can do. Hey, if Jazz was ever at one of the museums, she should find out that the Muda Museum actually has Albert Einstein's brain tissue samples, 46 of them, that is. Watch Mysteries at the Museum. It's actually a pretty good show. Anyhow, so Danny comes in, and as usual, he makes a mistake with his ghost powers. Goes back down to the lab, where his dad checks out a new invention by the name of the Ghost Weasel. Don't know why it's called that. You couldn't call it a ghost vacuum cleaner or something. It kind of like sucks ghost inside a big giant box. Simple enough, it actually does kind of work, except it works a little too well on paper and other stuff. As evident after the thermos gets stuck inside the weasel, Danny accidentally pushes the reverse button, releasing none other than Technus, voiced by the legendary man himself, Gilbert Gottfried. Man, I love this guy. This actor is by far one of the best actors ever. I've seen him in Are You Afraid of the Dark, I've seen him in Back in the Barnyard, and I've now seen him in Danny Phantom. This is an epic character. He plays Technus very well too. I actually do like his voice. I mean, I can't mimic that voice very well, you know? You're gonna have to put, like, maybe legendary actor Jim Cummings to do that. But anyhow, Technus is a ghost that actually uses his powers. His powers is basically to control technology. Let's just say that. He could control computers, he could control Xboxes, hell, he could even control a pencil sharpener. So, his powers was pretty much very silly. Well, not silly, but pretty dangerous if you want to get to that. But as well as Danny actually saving the world again, so to speak, causes the lab to be covered of ghost goo, or ghost essence, or spectral essence. Let's just say it's just ghost slime. In the lab after the weasel exploded. And then now, there's a party. Now, if you hadn't seen the beginning, Dash is throwing I think a very high, very hip class party. Excuse me. I don't know what class party it is here, because he says very high, very hip, very Dash. Yeah, Dash. I remember those types of dashes. The ones where you wear those stupid little rings that have some stupid name, like World Life, or Legit Boss, or those dollar signs, or those stupid golden glasses, and those stupid jackets and sweats. It's just horrible. Who in the right mind would dress themselves to look so ridiculous? Besides me. Anyhow, as far as I know, after the weasel explosion, Danny takes some of the old technology that was in his dad's lab and puts them in a garage sale so he can have enough money to pay for those sweats. As evident, the technology runs rampant. But we also find out some other stuff too, that Sam's actually a filthy, stinking, rich goth girl. Yeah, a rich goth girl. Surprising. On top of being like a rich goth girl and their parents looking very much like the Brady Bunch. No, not kidding. I think the parents on this one is the worst parents in Danny Phantom history. I hate these parents so much, and I feel so bad for Sam for that, because those damn parents are annoying as hell, and they do look like the Brady Bunch. Literally. No joke, no hesitation. Let me finish here. So, technology runs rampant, goes inside Dash's house, and Technus creates some type of, I'd say a mechanical body, but since it hadn't upgraded the software, it's, little Bucky. Except, it has an old piece of vaporware that is probably one of the worst softwares in history, because they know they always have a shutdown system in its computer system. Can't quite describe that. I'm not much of a techno geek. Actually, I'm not a techno geek, period, even though I use a laptop. Well, Danny tries to stop it, but also apologizes to his friends at the end about, how his own friends are way more important than popularity itself. And that's kind of like how I got this from Danny Phantom here. Pardon me. I'm still not feeling well. See, I've never been a big fan of popularity. Hell, even anybody else. I've never been a big fan of popularity. I always think it gets in the way of other personal life, and also gets away in my life as a 19-year-old autistic person. And plus, it really throws away the friends I used to have. I mean, let's think about it here. This was always that type of stuff. It always causes problems with me. And, yeah, I mean, it's a really big problem. And I really do like that lesson, that your friends are more important than popularity itself. And I like it. I actually do. And as evident, we also found out that even Dash himself was carrying Care Bears. I don't know, those pink stuffy teddy bears in his closet. What the hell? Oh. I'm telling you. It gets crazier every time, but I would say Attack of the Killer Garage Sale is really pretty good. And I really do love the idea. I even love the debut of Technus. I love his type of, charm. I even love that it's actually Gilbert Gottfried. I love the guy so much. Well, let's continue with number 9, which is Pirate Radio. Excuse me, Pirate Radio. And this is a season 2. There's going to be a couple of season 2s, not a lot of season 1s, but again, honorable mentions, you'll find out. So Pirate Radio is a very simple, I would say a very simple episode, but pretty good. And also shows that, hell, even humans can still fight back over ghosts. Yeah, that's the episode that spawned that. So, starts off with basically Danny and his friends looking at the stars, which by far is really a nice stars, I'll tell you that. Except they are listening to music that is so boring and also is about to put people to sleep. Yeah, kind of reminds me of when a game based off zombies, which I like, puts me to sleep because it's so boring, because I have to wait, and wait. Yeah, it puts me to sleep. It's transit. We all know it's transit. And then I started to hate it. Well, anywho, somehow they get interrupted by pirates. And it's very simple of how they're stealing stuff. And actually, also shows the music is very... It shows some other stuff they were stealing as well, like a ghost shield generator of the Fentons. They also steal some exercising equipment in Casper High, and it's pretty cool to actually see some characters, even ghost pirates. But also, there's actually another ghost character that actually has its share of having fun, and that is Youngblood. And you would expect me to say, what kind of a ghost is named Youngblood? Well, he is basically a ghost boy. Simple enough. Problem is, only kids can see him, not adults. Because, well, he's a little child. I mean, he played an astronaut, he played a cowboy, he played a damn pirate. And as evident, he is actually joined by, you guessed it, the ghost music empress herself, Ember McLean. From that, she never debuted in this episode, we know that. She debuted in the other episode by the name of Fanning the Flames, which is a spoiler on the honorable mentions. It's on there. Which, it's a good episode, but you know me. And, as evident enough, she wants to take over the world by letting the adults, exercise themselves by their fleet of ships to create power. So more like manual labor, so to speak. It goes back to the Viking ages, where you use the rows to, row the damn ship. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. Although they do have a weakness, and that is actual good radio. Another radio station, so to speak. But it also shows some pretty much excellence of Danny's work as even both a Fenton, but also as a human being on how to fight. I mean, they have an idea of taking the ghost shield down. They had a very good fight scene, and it was hot diggity dog. Even the pirate thing here. I mean, Danny taking the broken piece of Ember's guitar, and Youngblood with his sword hand, and they just fight on top of the sail was pretty cool. I enjoy that so much. Although at the end he gets grounded, and yet even though he saved the day, he gets grounded. Everybody hates him now because he was abandoned in the middle of the fight, or was he? Yeah. So, he's grounded for a month while he cleans up the damage for the party. But, bright side is he had decent radio back, and they also put Youngblood and his other associate, his little parrot friend, inside the ship and let the ghost shield turn back on. So they're not going anywhere. They're stuck in the ocean, so to speak. Hey, at least a ghost can survive, right? So, yeah, all in all, this episode's pretty good. It has a very kick-ass way of Ember returning. It also had a pretty nice new character that was actually pretty fun to look at. And also had some pretty cool fight scenes. Also shows that even us teenagers, well, I'm not quite a teenager anymore. I'm quite literally an adult, so to speak. Not going too far into that. But it also shows that teenagers can still kick ass. And they kick ass indeed. And that's why pirate radio is certainly something you should listen to, well, on the radio. So, let's go to number 8, which is Beauty Marked. And this is a very interesting episode. The episode's simple enough, is about the ghost of Aragon. And these are basically the ghost princess and prince of Aragon. The ones that had those amulets that turn them into dragons once they get very angry or stressed out. Yeah, those types. Prince Aragon wanted a human bride, so that's why he made Danny Phantom the judge. And actually, Danny judged and actually accidentally picked Sam, which caused her to teleport to, well, the castle of Aragon. And she's been used to actually become the bride of Aragon. Yeah, the many times I'm going to say Aragon, you got to get used to. But this is a pretty nice fight because it actually does put stuff like basically knights in shining armor. It shows ghost-like stuff, shows how much they put a fairy tale and it kind of doesn't work in other lives. On top of that, too, time standing still, technology not working. That's insane. But also showing how the dragons, also shows how even one of the Aragon families, the prince, shows that he can even hold his anger so long. Now, I can understand Princess Aragon being, very emotional. She's very stressed out. She's very angry, too. But with Prince Aragon, I mean, when I look at this guy's eyes, he's pretty much an angry person. But he holds his anger so much that all you're seeing is the red eyes and the pupils getting skinnier and the little teeth sharpening up. That's insane how he could keep his anger up so long. But after hearing the part where she was thinking, he gets pissed off. But the dragon scenes look pretty cool. I like the idea how even when the ambulance getting taken off, they go back to normal. The only question is that maybe they died because of those amulets. But yet I don't know why. They're both a curse, but they're also a blessing. In disguise, so to speak. But it's a pretty cool thing. It also had a ghost executioner, and even a ghost Robin Hood, which was pretty cool. I like the idea of it. I love the medieval-like atmosphere. I like how even Sam puts a big twist on it. And even I like how the crown doesn't even let her escape her own prison, which is crazy. So it was a pretty fun episode, and a really nice one at that. So, yeah, Beauty Marked is definitely something worth taking a nice, good, I don't know, just drink from the damn grail and say, I now pronounce you the best episode in the world. Well, one of the best episodes in the world. So, number 7, and this is actually a movie-based, somewhat of a two-parter. I only kept two-parters, and that's it. This one, and then number 1, which we will get to. So, number 7 is Rainstorm, which, excuse me, has Vlad Plasmius. Yes, we know, Vlad Plasmius. We will get to his story once we get to number 6. That goes to Pariah's Keep, which is home of the Fright Knight, and before that, Pariah Dark, the king of all ghosts. And the history goes is that he was a powerful being. He had the power to control both the crown of fire and the ring of rage. With wearing both, he can do anything. Except a band of ghosts had a big last-ditch effort to defeat the king. As they did, although a big animation error with the crown, locked him within the sarcophagus of forever sleep. Locked him inside, destroyed his kingdom, and that castle was the only thing left. And as evidence, Vlad woke him up. And he gets asked. He gets very asked. And then it comes the biggest war ever. This was so crazy because it showed a new invention that the Fentons made that could be useful, but can also be fatal. But it also shows other stuff of how Danny rescues both the Ghost Zone, but also other parts, also the Earth as well, or even Amity Park in general, because it's gotten teleported into the Ghost Zone. Yes, Amity Park in the Ghost Zone. That's like saying New Jersey or New York gets teleported to, I don't know, a zombie-like atmosphere, and we're trying to barricade ourselves out, just letting the undead not get through. That is so crazy. I also like the idea that the ghosts are trying to live their normal lives in, like, stores and other areas, except they're so used to their ghost powers that they're not used to actually being actual human beings, so to speak. And as evident, I could tell that. It also shows how, that even for, like, a king of Pariah Dark, he's probably one guy who's a strong yet tough person to handle. I also, like, consider that even Vlad himself played it like chess. So it's kind of like a battle scene that you would see back when chess was invented. Well, that's simple enough, yet even genius. Shows also that people who play chess are more smarter than you think. And I'm not those types. I don't play chess. Hell, I don't play checkers either. Pretty difficult, if you ask me. But yeah, I mean, Danny saves the day, Pariah's back in the castle at the end, and everything went back to normal. Even the ghosts lived back their happy lives again. It was a very interesting episode, yet very enjoyable too to watch. Plus, showed even how much even the emotions, the will, and even how Danny is trying to expand his ghost-like powers was amazing in and of itself. And although it's got some errors, it still deserves the number 7 spot. So, now we're going on to number 6, which is a Season 1, finally. Bitter Reunions showed the debut of Vlad Plasmius. So, nowadays, after Danny's little curfew problem, thanks to these 3 little birds that are 2008 years old, jeez, they're happy to be even moving at all. Hell, even flying. So, his family is actually going into Wisconsin to go to a reunion to their hometown. So his buddy Vlad has actually made this reunion. As a matter of fact, he's actually half ghost. His history is pretty easy to understand, so I'm not going to spoil it for you for some of you who don't know. Just look up the episode Bitter Reunions and you'll find out. But short, he had a horrible case of ectoacne, which actually ruined his social life, and also wanted to go out with Maddie, which was Danny's mother. As evident, he became having ghost powers that he had for 20 years, yet had years of practice, and he practices pretty well. Both the ghost strength, the ghost shields, hell, even duplicating himself, duplicating his form. That's insane. Even despite his history, he treats Danny with very good sympathy, which I am surprised. Very surprised. Even the way he actually possesses Jack was pretty much like any type of possession from a demon, you know? Like he possesses Jack to do crazy things, yet Jack has the willpower to actually do all of this and actually try to find a way to fight out of it, you know? It was pretty good. I also enjoyed it. I even like the Wisconsin Dairy King ghost. Yes, the Wisconsin Dairy King ghost. I love this ghost so much. Although he was only a short part and I miss him so much. Dude, I love this guy. I love this guy. Whoever acted this guy out was so good. I enjoy him. Alright, I need to calm down so I can just tell you. So, Danny actually beats Vlad at his own game and also promises him never to like, you know, expose them both. And it was a nice deal. And hell, I even like the idea. I mean, I like Vlad's past. I like how he's trained. I even like the idea of a castle. Hell, I love the idea of how the reunion came along. Also, looking at old people from their high school days or their college days is a pretty nice thing. I also like how somebody was a Packers fan. I'm surprised that even Packers were even in the Danny Phantom universe, because we already know Packers is a thing. And hell, even my friend Bati Knows Everything, go subscribe to him. He's a badass and I like him. He would know that Packers do exist, but even surprisingly enough, I hope he's listening to this too. Packers actually were in Danny Phantom as well. Good to know. But yeah, Bitter Reunions was a pretty nice episode, and hey, I enjoy it. However, its curfew is only about 10. If you don't know that joke by now, look at the episode. Alright, so we're about 5 episodes in, and yeah. So, I'm going to start going out with the next couple of ones. 2 are Season 3, and the rest are Season 2s. So, for number 5, it's Girls' Night Out. This is a interesting episode. Not the best, which we will get to number 1 soon, but it's pretty good. As evident, Kitty, well, I know, not Kitty Pryde, you wish. Kitty from Johnny 13's, like, Johnny 13's girlfriend, is getting a little pissed off because they had a fight. So did Skulker, having a fight with Ember. Jeez, I never knew Skulker would actually date Ember. As evident, Ember calling Skulker the worst ghost hunter in the world. Also, Johnny 13 becoming, I think, I don't even know what Kitty said, to be honest. It's been a while since I've seen these episodes, guys, so cut me some slack. But, she's so pissed off that she actually uses a power that is unknown to even us men, and kind of scares us. She has the power to drive men away by blowing a kiss to them. And all she knows is that she doesn't know where they go, but all she knows is that if she doesn't blow another kiss in exactly 24 hours, they're gone for good. So, Ember had an idea where they go to Enemy Park, and while she blows a kiss and actually waits until Johnny gets his ass handed to him, after Kitty blows the kiss, uses her guitar to create, I think, a kiss-like music shockwave around the entire Amity Park, and just, the men just go, snap, they're gone. They're just gone. And as evident, Amity Park is nothing more than just girls everywhere. So, it's up to basically the 3 girls that actually have not been both hypnotized and also becoming not as happy as the other girls, which is Sam, Jazz, and even Maddie, which is Danny's mom. But the 2 who are not infected, 3 rather, are Jack, Danny, and Skulker. And Jack is actually Danny's father, if you know. But it also shows how, even though there was one episode where Jack showed his badass side, as well as bitter reunions, this shows that he doesn't even need no ghost equipment to actually knock off Skulker, and hell, even a ghost-like sea creature that just ate his own son. He uses a damn fishing line and just, wow, it just goes a kick right there. He is one badass father. Sure, he's an ass. Well, he's stupid, but he's a badass. And I like this father. So, as evident after their little fight scenes here, and also some other funny scenes from the girls as well, they had an idea of actually to reverse the kissing spell by using one of Maddie's own inventions by the name of the Maddie Modulator, which probably will be in our top 10 someday. Anyhow, they use it to actually reverse the spell. But the only way to do that is they have to see another man, so Sam dresses as a boy to actually lure them and actually trick them. After it was reversed, everything went in crazy mode. Everybody fights, and everything went pretty well. And actually, although it was a very quick one and I wish it was longer, I do enjoy the fight scenes and how much all of them just use their own weapons to their advantage. It's just so good. I like the idea. I love the style. I even like the name of the title, Girls' Night Out. That's like a nice title for something like this, because this is all girl stuff to do. Although it has a couple of men's stuff in it, it's basically all just about girls, and also even shows it better than the movie Catwoman from Halle, has the actor Halle Bailey in it. This episode shows it way better of the women are powerful movement. Although it's not shoving it down your throat, it shows in a very nice delight. Even shows how even a woman with their personality, and you don't like their personality, they could do stuff beyond your imagination. Literally, beyond even my imagination here. I know women are tough people. I've seen it. And I don't even have to say it. because it's tough. So, girls' night out is definitely one night out that is not allowed for boys. So, if you're a boy, you'd rather see this on a computer screen or even a television screen than seeing this in person. Excuse me. Alright, so number 4, which actually beat at this, and actually is close to it, because this was in episode 3 of season 3, this is in episode 2 of season 3, Infinite Realms. Hits the number 4 spot, which has something to do with a ghost map. You're wondering why am I even saying that in the first place? Well, it's called the Infomap, which has every single portal and area of the ghost zone. And this is a very nice map. I do enjoy the way of how the map actually displays the Bermuda Triangle, which I won't go in depth into it, but chaos ensues while after being stranded in an icy-like area thanks to, well, icy-like areas, yet a ghost ice creature by the name of Frostbite helps the people guide them home, except Danny accidentally uses a magic words to actually let the map take him home, so to speak. As evident, Vlad wants the map to actually take him to the biggest destiny of his lifetime. Shows different types of realms, different types of, things from both the past and the present, shows a lot of good fight scenes, and also shows how even there is one ghost thing that actually can hurt a ghost, yet it's not a weapon. Hell, it's not even been man-made, but by nature. And it was called Blood Blossoms. A ghost-like repellent, so to speak, compared to, well, our next one. So it was a pretty nice one, too. And I like how even this shows a bit of some history back then. Shows even some years, some dates, even the first airplane that ever flew. Come on, man, it was a pretty good one. A very epic, yet very nice tale of how even people have evolved over the years, and how we evolved over the years. I even like the ending of how Vlad got his comeuppance of touching the map. It was a pretty good one. And even Infinite Realms, that's a pretty nice one because it's different realms of different times. And I do like the idea of it. I love the map. I love Frostbite. I even like the idea. I even love the battles. They're pretty good, and they deserve the spot of number 4. So number 3 is Doctor's Disorders. Wow, this season 2 is gonna kick me in the nuts. I'm telling ya. So, Doctor's Disorders has Spectra from, yes, Girls' Night Out, and also that other episode from season 1, where she wants to make herself beauty again. She wants to be beautiful again. Let's just say that. So she creates a brand new, I would say, skin, so to speak, by the only teen genetics. So she actually sends a swarm of ghost bugs to actually go inside the teenagers of Casper High, yet giving them ghost powers. And as evident, they actually are placed in the abandoned, creepy hospital at the edge of town under quarantine by Dr. Burnt Rand, or Bertrand. And if you missed that, kiss it. So it's up to Danny and Tucker to stop him, with Tucker's big fear of hospitals and anything that has something to do with your own health. So, as evident, they have to go there. So Tucker also has even one ghost weapon that is beyond anything that I'm surprised of, that's actually by Danny's mother. A ectoblaster I'm just going to call it an ecto-lipstick, because it's a lipstick and an ectoblaster. Come on. It's actually one of the biggest things of the noisy cricket from Men in Black. So, as evident, Danny goes in as a sick ghost, and goes in and sees that actually Spectra is using all the kind of like ghost side effects that actually will burn all of them out, and probably almost kill them. And it won't make a very good class photo. So, Danny has to stop him. As evident, she uses basically his dad's snot from the grandfather's tissue, gross, and sucks it up inside the new body, yet even the body is very, I would say, sleek, nice, yet deadly, and even shows how even some ghost powers that even people can't even use. Shows even like if any of them died, they don't even know how to use ghost powers. They wouldn't even know how to use them, period. So that's kind of scary. But as evident, I mean, let's think about it here. The DNA kicks in, Spectre turns into a fat, slobbery snob, yet has the personality of Jack Fenton, but also shows the way that even Tucker uses his own bug ghost repellent called Foley by Tucker Foley, sprays it inside the ventilation area, yet it sprays all around, letting the bugs go out of the teens, and you know the end game, Danny saves the day while after punching the snot drooling ghost, and even sucks all the bugs up and everything else. The ending is pretty much a funny one, but also becomes a very Tucker torture porn base. I mean, we've already had enough torture porns in SpongeBob, so yeah. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, it's a pretty good episode. I even like the idea of like sick-like people, but except their symptoms are way different. I love the abandoned hospital-like feel. I like how creepy it looks. Although some of them are played for laughs, I like the idea. I even love the transformations that Bert's Rand has become. I mean, I even love how there's a ghost sleeping gas. That's a pretty cool idea. It's a pretty nice one. I do like it. Alright. We only got 2 more left, and then that's it for the list. So, number 2 is Masters of All Time. Now, it's not as good as number 1, but we will get to that. So it has something to do with Vlad's ectoacne returning, but yet also infects Tucker and Sam by, you guessed it, a smoke grenade, or a gas bomb, whatever you want to call it. And the ectoacne reaches them, and actually it's lethal. So, they have to find a cure fast. And as evident, Danny goes back in time to try to prevent Vlad from getting his ghost powers. But yet, he kind of does, except it falls into Jack's hands as becoming the ghost, and ruins his life. And also, the other problem too is that now Vlad has Maddie married, and they become the Wisconsin king and queen. Yeah, Wisconsin Dairy King and Queen, whatever. Hey, at least it's not Dairy Queen, like the vanilla shakes and ice cream. But it's evident, Danny has to save the day, and even finding out that even Jack looking like Vlad. Oh my god. Jack looking like Vlad in the ghost powers is actually kind of funny. I'm even surprised that he knows how to use those powers, yet he's still a horrible aimer. Is a very funny episode. Even shows how even Danny is trying to at least not ruin time as he can. I even like the kind of like ideas that Maddie used all this money for the ghost equipment, and Vlad doesn't even know about it. Yet he plays with it so well. Even Vlad, he doesn't even care about it. He likes it. But surprisingly enough, he gets himself axed, and Danny goes back in, and yet even finds out what happened. Apparently his dad accidentally didn't put an ecto purifier. He put Diet Cola. Yeah, that's why you should be looking before you do something. Just a thought. As evident, it saves the day, but I don't know why it didn't cure Vlad in the first place. But it did cure Sam and Tucker. It cured Vlad completely, but not quite as completely, because he still has his ghost powers, but also shows a nice ending where some of them also danced from the 80s, which was fun. It was actually a nice episode. I love the time travel. I love the convoluted explanations on how ghost forms are working, but except it's not very as difficult as this episode that I think Butch Hartman did pretty well. And this is why this number 1 spot is good. So the number 1 best Danny Phantom episode is The Ultimate Enemy. Now, why did I put this number 1? I mean, yes, it is one of the best Danny Phantom episodes, but let's think about it here. Danny has fought every single ghost in the world, yet defeats them. And he defeats them, and yet done it once. And it was the toughest part of his life. But he's never defeated an enemy like himself. After an explosion of the Nasty Burger, Danny's family, as well as Sam Tucker and Mr. Lancer, were killed. So he moves in with the man that understands him, which is Vlad Masters. So, as evident, Danny didn't want none of the shit. He wanted the ghost half gone. So Vlad cuts it off. He takes the ghost half out, but without a human conscience, Danny's ghost form does an unthinkable where he rips Vlad's ghost form out of him and fuses with it. Except the evil inside of Vlad's ghost form, as well as the malice, was too much for him to handle, turning Danny into an irredeemable monster. And this is by far one of the scariest and disturbing cartoon episodes in history. And that's saying a lot given to anything else. It's definitely not a #1 material as Ren and Stimpy, but it's close. As evident, Danny has to stop his own self. His own self has gotten more powerful using the changing abilities. He's used that power pretty much a very long time. Even using a ghostly-like whale that is very powerful, but yet also shorts out the younger version. We also see some other episodes, like the Box Ghost actually being badass. Hello? That's actually pretty good. I mean, I've never seen the Box Ghost going badass. Amber kind of losing her hips, so to speak. Johnny 13 being in a wheelchair. Skulker and Technus being together. And also a character by the name of Box Lunch, daughter of both the Box Ghost and the Lunch Lady. Very surprising. Anyhow. And yet they want Danny dead. It's very surprising, too, because also, even he was about to cheat on one of the tests by the name of the CATs, or as Natalie mentioned, CAT! So, Danny has to stop it, but also teaches very good lessons, too, of time travel, and even the debut of Clockwork, the Ghost Master of Time, which is a very nice ghost, as I might add, even though he cheated. Like, he literally cheated at the end, but it's whatever. As evident, too, even Danny had said to himself that he would not want to cheat. He said he looked in there, but he didn't put the answers on, which is a good thing, too, because it also shows that you can't cheat, because even if you do cheat on a test, hell, cheat in life, period, your life will change to the worse. Your family will be gone, your friends will be gone, hell, even people you knew will be dead, yet forgotten, and even people will hate you. Hell, want you dead. Danny already gone through that 100 times. I love how even the future was in ruins. I even love how Danny, being a disturbing character, had a complete lack of empathy. Even though Vlad gave Danny great sympathy, this one nada. Not even a thing. I mean, he wanted him dead, he wanted everybody dead. He even loved going back in the past, saying it's been a while, but he doesn't care. It's like any type of psychopath you would see in a mental ward. Like I don't know, any kind of creepy person that you would see is not alive to this date. People who've done bad things. So after the defeat, future Danny has never been seen again. But even though the ending did set up his return, he never escaped from his eternal prison cell. Shows also how powerful he is. If there was ever a season 4 reboot, boy, they bring him back for something, but it's beyond impossible. But, yeah, this is actually one of the best episodes, actually, the best episode I've seen to this day. I love this episode so much. That's why it's the #1 spot on the top 10 best Danny Phantom episodes. So weird to actually talk so positive nowadays. Well, my nostrils are starting to clog up again because I've been talking a lot and I hadn't been doing this in a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, leave a like and comment down below, what do you think is your top 10 best Danny Phantom episodes? Or what is your #1 best Danny Phantom episode? Let me know, and as always, stay scary, and I'll see you next time.